What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. It's finished here 2-1 to Wolves at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs crash to defeat here after a really good run of results here, to be honest. But look, today was nowhere near good enough, was it?
No, from start to finish pretty much, apart from, I would say, a 20-minute period in the second half where we equalised straight away and we got on top of them. It looked like we were going to go on from strength to strength. But other than that, Wolves figured us out pretty early on, to be honest. Regain the ball very quickly, be very aggressive in the central areas, get Neto out wide, get Hwang Hee-chan and Trabia into the space. Especially Pedro Neto was absolutely just ripping us to shreds time and time again on the breakaway, and we had no answer to it. Wolves are very compact, very well organised in the centre. We had no way of breaking them through. We had very few chances in the game, more honestly. Kulusevski scored, and then apart from that, Davis had that chance later on. There was very few clear-cut chances for Tottenham because of how well Wolves defended. You've got to give them credit. So it was a really disappointing performance. The play was way too slow, way too turgid. Emerson didn't help us in the build-up. He was giving the ball away so often. He always had to kind of think about his next move, like way too slow. He spent an extra 3 seconds on the ball compared to
Sometimes he's just like kicking out of play for no reason. Terrible pass. I mean, Emerson, like you would think, like after to come in and try and stake a claim for your place. I mean, he did the opposite of that today. I thought he was absolutely shocking, Emerson. And look, I thought we came out the blocks quite fast today. First 3 minutes, it looked like again we were going to have another good performance here, but after 3 minutes, it was just a bit of a damp squib, wasn't it? And Wolves came here with a plan, and I thought they executed it perfectly. Pedro Neto was absolutely insane. If that's any sort of kind of audition to sign for Spurs, he done really well, didn't he?
He was incredible. Best player in the park, head and shoulders above anyone else. You give him any sort of space, and he absolutely roasted whoever he was taking on. And for the goal, I think he picked up the ball inside his own half, carried the ball all the way into the penalty area.
It's electric on the
And
break.
not only that, once he got to the penalty area, he even accelerated even more to burn past Emerson, cuts it back, and not only does he do that, he has the presence of mind to pick out João Gomez as well, the composure to play the perfect pass. And there you have it, it's 2-1. And
every game that you watch him play, though, like he rips oppositions to shreds every single game, and today was no different. We just couldn't handle him by any
special player.
Yeah, he really is. And look, I think from, like you said, from start to finish pretty much, we were nowhere near good enough. If we even did get it back in the last few minutes of the game, we didn't deserve anything out of the game today.
I have to say I was a bit concerned again with once we made those substitutions, it didn't help the team. It didn't impact the team in a positive way. I would say we put Werner up front for a bit. He had no impact. He was a bit better when he went back on the left. Sonny was a bit anonymous again today. But in terms of the substitutions, look, I don't disagree necessarily with what he did. He put Kulusevski and Madison together.
Tried to go for it.
Yeah, put Brendan back on the right, put Sonny on the left and Werner up front. But it didn't help. Nothing happened. We didn't really. In fact, we lost any sort of rhythm that we did have, I thought, once the substitution. Again, I thought we started the second half well. We got the goal and we were looking on top. And in fact, to be fair, when Wolves went 2-1 up, I would say that was against a runner player at that moment when they did score. But after they scored, we had no response. We just had absolutely no reaction to them scoring.
It was like straight after Wolves scored, I'm sitting there thinking, from then till the final whistle goes, we just don't look like scoring by any stretch of the imagination. Like we did not danger them whatsoever. They were camped up in their own kind of quarter, and we were just trying to pass it around, trying to figure out ways to get in behind them, but they were way too strong for us. That's the reality.
They just basically allowed us possession out wide and just committed everyone centrally, and we had no answer. Anytime we swung a ball in, once Charleston went off, there was obviously not going to be very little threats in the air.
He was poor in the first half, by the way.
He was terrible. He deserved to come off, but
really
we had no aerial threat once he did come off. And then we're trying to play these fullbacks, but when it's in a congested penalty area, it's hard to find. It seemed as though the only kind of way we were trying to get in is, we're trying to get in through the sides where they gave us a bit of initiative, but we had no answer to what they offered in the penalty area. It was way too congested, there was way too many bodies, and we just couldn't get any shots on. We should have tried more shots from maybe 25 yards or so. We didn't. We were kind of hesitant in those moments. And Wolves, whenever they did win the ball back quickly, we were just so open every single time, and we were relying on Van de Ven to cover us. And when Van de Ven is out the game, it was like we can't stop the opposition.
I think he's the one, and maybe Romero slightly, the way he was trying to make stuff happen, trying to get us up the pitch. Van de Ven was by far our best player, once again. Like, I think he's the only one that really comes out of that with saying, like, you know, I actually played well today. No one else.
Him and Vicario, I would say.
Yeah, him and Vicario, yeah, fair enough. But apart from that, nobody can say they played well today. Not one player.
Disappointing performance. I think for most players, yeah. I think if I'm looking at the midfield and attack, who was probably our brightest player, I'd probably give it to Maddison. But even him, he struggled to impact the game for a lot of it. But I thought there were occasions where he was proving difficult to deal with, but it didn't really come to anything. I thought the front three. Well, no, okay, I'll give Decky some credit. I thought Decky was all right, especially in the second half. Obviously,
He was also very frustrating. Like, it was a bit of mix and match from Decky there. There was a few really nice moments in there, but there was a lot of frustrating moments in there from him as well.
Scored a nice goal.
He did score a nice goal.
He did all right in that second half, and then again he moved centrally, and it seemed to worsen his impact in a way. He didn't really get on the ball once he went central, so it was a bit of a strange one, I thought, from Decky. And it's a very damaging defeat, obviously.
They've done a double over us now, Wolves.
Yeah, after the momentum we were building, you know, with the players coming back and the results we were getting, you hope to really push on from that. And to come back today with a defeat at home to Wolves is really, really disappointing. And the fact that again, it's now the third or fourth game in a row that we've been absolutely terrible in the first half, and have barely had a shot on target. Today, no shots on target at all in that first half. It carries on a trend where we seem to have really slow first halves, and teams take advantage of it more often than not. Usually get a goal, usually going behind it, we're chasing the game, coming second half. Happened again today.
And when we don't have it, when we're not on it going forward, like, it's a big worry, like, because we can easily drop points in most games because we're so open at the back. It's like one pass and then they're through on goal. And when they have players like Pedro Neto, obviously, that we say, but, you know, every team in the Premier League has good players. So one pass splits our defence open and they're through on goal. It's really worrying. We need to get back on it because we haven't been anywhere near as good since those first 10 games of the season. And we've been picking up points in recent weeks, but I think this performance actually just carries on a trend.
Yeah, I think when you're seeing the results, but the performances, but the results we've been getting recently, you can kind of give it a pass because you know the problems we've been going through. You know it's always going to be difficult to, you know, it's always going to be difficult to sustain that what we had for the first 10 games with all the problems we've had. You know that when the squad's coming back, hopefully it's going to get better, but we haven't seen that yet, and that's the worrying thing. Look, we haven't seen the performances improve.
In reality,
after the players come back, maybe it just needs a bit more time. But
I think it does need time. But in reality, we missed Pedro Porro and Destiny Udogie massively today, especially Pedro Porro in terms of what he does on the ball, getting in the middle of the park, dictating the tempo of the play sometimes. Emerson just wasn't that. He couldn't do anything, Emerson, today, and he was our most porous player. But you look at it now. We go behind Villa once again. It changes once again. The last 3 weeks now, I think one of us has ended up in the fourth place, and Villa have won today, a good away winner at Fulham. It's going to be a dogfight for this top four.
Yeah, definitely. Villa are a good team, and they got a very good win. I thought they were going to drop points this weekend, and they didn't, and we did. So we get punished for it, and we got to go to Villa Park very, very soon. So we got to definitely go into that game with at least in touching distance of them, which we probably will be. But yeah, it's going to be a really, really good slog because Villa are showing everyone they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, all right. Well, a very disappointing day here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We move on. We got a week's break now, so hopefully Ange can get him on the training pitch. We need a couple of weeks, exactly. He said last week we needed a week. I think at the end of this game he's going to say we need a couple of weeks, but hopefully it'll work in our favour. Get Porro, get Udogie back. Hopefully by the next game we'll actually have our first choice 11 back, and we'll see where we go. But very disappointing. Like, subscribe and comment. We'll see you next time.